Hey everybody, good afternoon. My name is Dustin Strong. This is our Ask Me Anything hour. It's now at 1:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just in case you were trying to catch us actually live. But of course, you don't have to catch us live because this will be in our feed for a while. But any questions you have about health, about wellness, about nutrition specifically, this is a place to send your questions so we can answer them for you so more people can get the answers to them instead of just one person at a time. You can email them to us at info@strongonhealth, or you can type them in right now and we'll see if we can get to them next week. Today, I'm only going to go over one question because usually we try to get to 3 to 5 questions per session, but this question is a big question and I've been getting a lot of people asking questions that are similar in this category. And the question is, what can someone do to reduce their symptoms of arthritis? And so we have a lot of people asking about autoimmune conditions and a lot of people believing that there's really nothing you can do. And I really want to challenge that with every fiber of my being and every fiber of your being and your knowledge to understand that autoimmunity is not something that you just have to accept. It isn't something that is the result of God just liking you less than other people. It is the result of certain things, and finding out what those things are going to empower you and make you as strong as possible in your ability to change the environment that you're living in and change the environment that's happening in your body so that it can change your health result. So, number one thing, across the board, when I talk about autoimmunity, is understanding how is your body creating autoantigens in the first place. And I had the great fortune over the weekend to go to the 90th anniversary of the Standard Process Farms in Wisconsin. This is an amazing company that has taught me more than I can tell you about all kinds of health conditions across all spectrums of health conditions. And one of the best things that they have introduced to me over time is ways to help support your digestion. And why is digestion important when it comes to autoimmune? Well, one of the things we have to understand is that when your body's creating an autoantigen, it's creating it oftentimes because of a protein that has gotten into the blood. So the question has to be, why is that protein getting into the blood? And one of the things that I really want people to understand is that if you're not fully digesting your proteins, then you're increasing the likelihood of those proteins going where they are not supposed to be. And if blood is where they wind up, then you may be getting autoantibodies to those. So we have to think about that in terms of looking at the entire population, the fact that most people are having digestive issues. They're having problems with stomach acid. They're having problems not digesting proteins. They're having to take antacids and acid-stopping medications. And we've just recently shown you an article where Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, all of them are stopping the sale of a lot of these antacids because of the health risks that are involved in stopping the acid. One thing that I've learned more than anything else is that you have to support your digestion. And one of the best ways you can do that is by incorporating some of the awesome products that they have created to help support digestion. I don't usually talk about products, but because I had such a great experience over the weekend, I do want to talk about one thing called Zypan. A lot of times people always say, well, Dustin, you talk about increasing and making sure that your body can digest things. Well, if you're going to investigate and talk to your healthcare professional about digestion, ask them about this one product because I find it to be the biggest game changer in a lot of ways in my own personal life and a lot of the people that I talk to because it helps support digestion. Now, I'm not saying that's appropriate for every person. That's the whole important aspect of making sure that you are talking to someone who knows something about health. One of the things that Standard Process has done for years is only supplied their products through healthcare professionals because they want you to have a relationship with somebody who has a vested interest in your health. They want to make sure that you're being guided by someone who is going to give you the right thing for you as an individual. As opposed to saying this is going to treat a condition, that is not something that they're interested in talking about. They're talking about supporting function in the body, but having somebody who's educated enough to tell you how you can support your own health with their products. Phenomenal company in so many ways, record-breaking in many ways than I can tell, but all I can say is I have nothing but gratitude for the products that they have introduced because the ability to support your digestion can be a massive game changer in so many ways. I'm shocked to find out how many people still come in taking acid-stopping medications and understanding, as they've been doing it for a very long period of time, all of the health conditions that they've developed since the introduction of acid-stopping medications. I've talked many times about a book called Why Stomach Acid is Good for You by Dr. John Wright. I encourage everyone to read that. And in that book, you will find references in the back to all of the autoimmune conditions and how he talks about why digestion has to be handled first if you're considering the fact that you want to improve your autoimmune condition. Because without the digestion of those proteins getting into the blood can be that issue that we're worried about. And this is why I caution people who are taking collagen supplements. Collagen is a very hard protein to digest. If you're not digesting it and you get it into the blood, then can you have an autoimmune response to that? Well, that's a lot oftentimes what people are dealing with when it comes to things like lupus that is attacking connective tissue, or things like rheumatoid arthritis. So make sure that you are paying attention to your digestion and not working against nature with that. In fact, in Guyton's Physiology, you'll see that it talks about pepsin being the enzyme that breaks down collagen, but you have to have a really good acidic stomach to be able to make that happen. So the more you can understand your digestion, the better it is. And Carla just walked in. Hi, Carla. And we were just talking about doing a digestion workshop for everybody locally here to help understand better how this works. So it is so important. I cannot say enough about it. So if any of you know anybody out there who's struggling with any condition like that and they feel like there's nothing they can do, I would encourage you to first check out how your digestion is working. Talk to a healthcare professional who knows something about helping you with that. Okay, the other thing when it comes to arthritis is there's a huge correlation with rheumatoid arthritis in particular and low levels of potassium. So potassium, and now I'll put some links below so you can see where I'm getting this research from, because we really want to know how and why that is happening, and first of all, put attention on getting your potassium levels up. And so I just had lunch with Carla at El Primo's, and we ate from the Healthy This Way menu. And the Healthy This Way menu is highlighting menu items that are specifically helping nourish you with those micronutrients that so many people are missing, and potassium is one of them. So we had the black beans, we had the tableside guacamole, because those are great whole food sources of potassium. So let's make sure, first of all, that we have this absolutely essential nutrient, and let's see if we fall into that category of people who are ridiculously low in potassium, and perhaps that can be a major component in helping you get better. Another thing that people with rheumatoid arthritis have is low cortisol. Cortisol is your own personal steroid hormone. And you'll know that if you do have a condition like that, one of the things that you're going to get in a medical treatment will be a steroid hormone to help with the inflammation. But what we want to do is help your body be able to make its own perfect steroid hormone for you. And there's oftentimes a correlation and association between potassium and cortisol being low. So again, I will put some information in the links below to help you understand that. But the simple and easiest and most important thing that I would do is check your digestion, and then check to make sure you're getting ample amounts of potassium in your life. And this ties into the final thing that we're going to talk a lot about this month is blood sugar. Most people don't realize there's a huge association between potassium levels and blood sugar. So now we're starting to see this in a much bigger picture. We have all these people in America struggling with blood sugar balance issues, and a huge amount of people just not getting enough potassium. Now, I'm not saying it's a direct correlation. I'm not saying it's absolutely this is causing that. It's not causative, but it's correlated, which is enough for us to think about whether or not we should satisfy that essential nutrient before we decide to. Thank you very much. She knows about lighting. She's like, get in your light, get in your, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, and next time you'll do my makeup for me too, next time. Okay, anyway, potassium. So, and Harvard University also has estimated that less than 5% of Americans are getting enough potassium. So this is enough to compel me to make sure that when I'm talking to anybody about their health, is looking at their diet saying, are you getting any potassium in your diet? Are you getting enough potassium? Because we need lots of potassium. What are the things that are going to remove it? So the Strong and Health box this month is focusing a lot on potassium. So we're going to be giving you food selections and little samples of things that are going to help you incorporate potassium into your life on a regular basis. Healthy This Way is going to be providing menu selections that are going to help you identify what is going to give you potassium, so you can rule out this essential micronutrient as something that's a major contributing factor to so many conditions. So we've got the lovely people actually at Fruit for Thought who have given us apricots, or apricots, depending on where you're from. Apricot? What is it? Apricot? Apricot? Apricots, okay? Which gives you actually a really good source of potassium, so thank you guys. It'll be in our Strong and Health blood sugar balancing box this month. We also have, the people from Made in Nature Organics raisins. They're going to be a good source for all kinds of nutrients. But we also wanted to give you options so that you're not overdoing the sugar, which is going to disrupt your blood sugar. And so this company is one of our favorites. What did you think? Did you try it yet? Did you try your little waffle that you were talking about? Okay. But Rip Van Wafels, if you're going to go out and get some candy to hand out to kids, I would encourage you to look at something that is going to give them fiber as well, so that we're not overdoing the sugar and we are actually balancing out a little bit of fiber. These little beauties give you 1 gram of, is it 1 gram of sugar? Yes, 1 gram of sugar and a couple of grams of fiber, I think, right? So we have a really good ratio there, and it's gonna be a lot more satisfying. They have 3 different flavors that we're putting in there. You got Snickerdoodle, you've got your Dutch caramel and vanilla, and you got your cookies and cream. So great options for kiddos during the holiday season that gives them a treat, but it's not something that's gonna be completely pounding their pancreas with ridiculous amounts of liquid sugar and unrefined sugar, or completely refined sugar, sorry. And finally, we got these cool little samples from the people at Sweet Defeat. For those of you who just absolutely cannot get over your sugar cravings, this is the tablet form of the old Sugar Stopper. I don't know if any of you remember Sugar Stopper, but I sure do, and I love the Sugar Stopper. But this is the tablet form. Jody Patterson, you're gonna love the fact that this is actually a real thing, even though I wasn't able to create it myself. Okay, so when it comes to autoimmune, first and foremost, look at your digestion. Second, check out your potassium. And then once you get those 2 things handled, let's start looking at all the other essential micronutrients that your body requires to function, and whether or not you're absorbing and utilizing them when you're eating them, because your digestion is working right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please keep yourself encouraged. Keep yourself in a space where you can open up your mind to possibilities. Just because a condition has occurred to you does not mean that you cannot change the environment and the conditions in which that condition and in which that condition was created. That's the thing we always have to remember. When we develop something within our body, we have to not only understand that, and yes, seek help with that, but be mindful of what was the condition that created that. If you don't change that environment or those conditions, how are you going to keep this from coming back and becoming a problem again? Again, thanks guys. I really appreciate your time. I hope you're enjoying these. If this was helpful for any of you, or if it satisfied some questions for you that you've been asking, please do share this information with your friends, or share this video, and stay healthy and have a great October.